In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to properly texture your imported design model. So in Lumion, there's kind of two different ways to work with materials. You can either swap out the imported materials for the Lumion materials, or you can assign Lumion material properties to your imported materials. And we're going to do a little bit of both. So let's get to it. All right, so inside Lumion, I'm going to first hop over into my materials tab. All right, and then as I move my cursor around, you can see that Lumion is highlighting the different textures that I created, that I assigned to these surfaces in SketchUp. All right, this works exactly the same way with any 3D modeling program. Once a model comes into Lumion, it's all exactly the same. All right, so you can see all the different material names. We've got like our blacktop new, we've got our glass and our brick. So we are going to go through and work out all the different materials in this scene. All right, now let's see. First things first, check this out. You can see that glass, any material in SketchUp that has glass in it is going to come into Lumion, and Lumion picks that up for us and assigns glass. Of course, you can go in there and you can click on it and you can choose different glass, but you know what? I'm pretty satisfied with the glass that they've chosen. All right, so we're going to move on. Glass, grass, and water. Those are the primary ones. There's no water in this one, but we definitely do have some grass. All right, check this out. See how my model, I push down the grass? I like to kind of push the grass plane down and let it grow up over the curb. That's my preference. You might give it a shot and see how that works for you, rather than just letting the grass and the curb kind of be at exactly the same level. Anyway, we're going to just click on our grass, and you can see that it is an imported material. I'm going to go over to nature and click on 3D grass. All right, and then we can pick any of these different 3D grasses. I mean, how cool are these? Look at that. We've got like a checkerboard pattern, circular and clean cut, and row grass. Okay, so row grass is what I'm into right now. That's pretty realistic for how for how this lawn would be mowed. I think they would just kind of hit it with a tractor probably and move on. But okay, so that's pretty cool. And let's double click on this grass. And then again, I'm going to zoom in on this thing and let's take a look at some of the properties of the grass. See, it's kind of growing up. It's through the curb, but that's okay. It'll look fine. But yeah, it's kind of growing up to the curb. All right, so what I like to do is reduce the grass size and increase the grass length. And maybe I would consider adjusting the bending force. I don't know, a little bit of it's fine. And then you can also bring the grass back down by kind of cutting it, right? So I tinkered with these settings and I thought this was kind of a cool look that I came up with. But what I would recommend for you is tinker with it, give it a go and see if you can, find something you like, or just stick with the defaults. The defaults look great too, no problem. All right, so we've got our grasses set up, and as I look around my model, here's the next one. We've got our blacktop. So I'm gonna go over to outdoor and then asphalt, and then on the second tab, you can see that we have our asphalt wet. Now, I got to tell you, I don't use this anymore. I was in love with this material for like, I forget, maybe 2 versions now, but there's the new precipitation effect. And we don't need wet asphalt anymore because we can make the entire scene wet with our precipitation effect. So I'm going to skip over that one and go straight to this polygon material. This is like kind of clean asphalt. And I'm going to dial up my colorization, and it is black, and you can make that really dark if you wanted, but yeah, just so that it's kind of like that nice clean new asphalt. And check that out. That looks pretty cool. Maybe I could back off that colorization just a touch, not like kill all the texturing there. Looks good. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is, we want to also have these white crosswalks should be a white asphalt, So I'm going to copy the properties. All right, check this out. If I click on this menu and click on copy, I can put my cursor on this other, and it's just like a polished concrete texture. Make it standard, and then go to the menu and hit paste. Now it matches exactly the other black asphalt. So now I can dial up my colorization and then set it to white. Pretty cool, right? All right, so we've got our black asphalt, we've got the white kind of painted textures, and we've got our glass is in good shape. Let's go over to our concrete here, all right, and take a look at these curbs. Now, we're going to work on this curb first. I'll click on this one. Again, this is an imported material, and you can see that we have like two different types of concrete. You know, we got like our well, it's actually called blacktop old. I'm sure we just were moving fast and not naming materials. It's common because who cares about the name? I can see it, I click on it, I make it concrete. Same thing here. This is just kind of duplicated. So we're going to make it a standard material. Now, when I make this a standard material, this means that I can use my imported texture material and I can assign Lumion properties to it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. First off, we don't want gloss and we don't want reflectivity, all right? And we do want to go over to our, well, let's do this. Let's add a normal map and we can dial up the relief. You know, you can kind of see what that is doing there. You know, check out these shadows that are happening on that curve. So, you know, we'll leave, you don't want to go too nuts on it. So we'll leave the relief kind of low for just a moment and then hop over to weathering. All right, now with weathering, this is what puts that kind of tarnish on all of your materials, or at least this material. I use a little bit of weathering on pretty much everything. And I'm going to dial this up a bit. And, you know, don't be shy with these sliders. You know, see what it does. Take a look at it. Like, wow, you know, that looks like a unkept concrete, so we're not going to go that far. And if I go all the way to the left, you know, you can kind of see where there's a balance in the middle of like, yeah, it takes the edge off the concrete. So we're good there. And then at the bottom here, we also have these this edges slider. So if I slide that, look at what's happening. All right, so let me zoom a little bit closer. See those kind of sharp computer edges there? Watch what happens when I slide this. Well, I'm a little too close. Sorry, let me back up. So it just kind of rounds them off, you know, takes that edge off of that material. It makes it look much more realistic. These are all those little details that Lumion picks up. And if you just kind of know to do them, it makes your renderings that much more realistic, or, you know, just kind of communicates that mood of like, yeah, this is a real concrete. It's not that hard-edged, computer-generated. Although I might have modeled this with a few extra edges here, or segments in my curve. That's okay. All right, so we've got our concrete kind of dialed in there. I think we're looking good. I was using the stone weathering, okay? And just like I did before, I can hit the menu and copy these settings. I can go over to my other concrete here, click on it, make it a standard material, click on my menu, and hit paste. That's going to paste those settings right back in here. Now, we're still using the same imported texture map, the different one, you know, so we didn't paste the texture map over, just the properties. So how cool is that? You know, you can really move through these textures rather quickly. And, you know, you could go in here and say, well, let's try a little more weathering, you know, what does that look like? You can also do different types of weathering, you know, don't be shy to like click on something else and see what it does. You know, like this plastic one, I think that kind of works okay with masonry if you want that like, you know, efflorescent look. But we'll stick with stone. That's cool with me. All right, now let's hop over here. Let's take a look at some of this brick. This is kind of a good area to look at the brick. Let me scoot out and see a little bit more of it. Yeah, that's perfect right there. Okay, I'll click on the brick. Again, we're gonna make it a standard material. We definitely don't want gloss, don't want reflectivity. What we do want is a normal map. Click on that and check it out. Now see how the shadows they're kind of like in the wrong direction. I'm gonna click it again. It flips the normal map. And then if I dial up my relief, you know, you can really see that normal map playing in on those shadows. And, you know, don't go nuts on all these sliders. You know, you just want like, you just put, it's like cooking, right? You know, you don't dump the salt in, you throw a pinch. And just a little bit of these effects and using the right ones goes a long way. So I'm going to keep it there, and then we're going to go to weathering. Let's try the plastic one and dial up our weathering. You know, if you're going for that, I don't know if that's like exactly an attractive look, but it's realistic probably once it rains on this building for a year. But you can go with some different stone. You can try that one again, and it just takes that repeating pattern off the brick. And let me zoom in on this a little bit and see what's happening here. So you can always hold shift, and that'll, as you're holding shift, it'll make your slider go really slow. So that's kind of handy. But let's dial this up, and we want just to the point where we're not like mold on our building. We just want it to kind of give it some more pop. So I think that's pretty cool. We'll stay there, and good news is you can always come back and adjust it. All right, so just a couple more materials before we move on. I'm going to click on this one, and we're going to go to standard, and then I'm going to create a normal map for this, and maybe like half the gloss, half the reflectivity. We'll go to aluminum and dial up the weathering. All right, and then I just back off a little bit, so not so much that it's and maybe a little more gloss and reflectivity. That's fine. All right, and then again, I'm just going to copy these. So copy those settings, and then click on this next one, make it standard, and then I'm going to paste it. So click on the menu and click paste. This one, let's see, we got our texture map, so I'm going to delete that normal map, and then create normal map, and then we're back to good. So it brought the normal map from this texture over here, and that's why it was kind of given those seams in there. But this one has just a little bit too much weathering. Let's back that down a bit. All right, maybe you could try silver, whatever. Aluminum's cool. All right, the one more that I want to do is on this window frame here, and I just thought this was a really good example again of like how you can take this super lifeless material, and you click on it, you go to standard, and now we can say a little less gloss, a little less reflectivity, take the edges, round them out, give it some aluminum weathering. Like, see how that just like, it almost helps with the shadows too. It just gives a little bit of dirt and grime, which it sounds counterintuitive. It's not so much that you want it to be dirty and weathered. It's just that you don't want it to look like it was like super computer generated. I might also round out my edges on my brick. I didn't do that. So there we go. All right, then I'm going to click on Save Changes. It's kind of smart to do that often, to save your changes so you don't lose the work that you're doing. So we've got our glass, our grass, our concrete, all of these guys in good shape. All right, so our design model is now properly textured, looking good. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to pick some views and then populate those views with Lumion objects. Stick with me. I'll see you in the next tutorial.